My old sander died. To replace it, I bought this one. The best thing about this one is that it's a belt sander and an oscillating sander, all in one. Whenever multiple tools are combined into one, I'm happy because that saves money and space in the shop. Time to pull this out of the box and see what's inside. I've seen a lot of these machines in other shops, so I know more or less what to expect. But now I can finally get a closer look at one. I am a fan of the bright orange that Ridgid uses, and I think this will make a fine addition to the shop. The build quality looks and feels pretty good, and I'm glad to see that this has a base on the bottom. Some of these plastic molded machines don't attach a separate base on the bottom, like the router table that I have. Without a base on the bottom to hold it all together, it can be a little flimsy. Not only does it have a base, but the base also has contours in the bottom that'll fit onto 2x4s, so you can put it on a sawhorse, or build a simple stand made from 2x4s. The machine's only about 40 pounds, so that makes it pretty mobile. There is very little assembly required for this. There are some rubber feet to attach to the bottom, and then you can put the sandpaper sleeves on the rubber tubes, and tuck everything away into the spaces provided. There's even a place on the back for the sanding belt to sit when not in use. If you are using the sanding belt, then this cover that's used for the spindles can sit on the back. There's storage built into this for all the parts except for one. This backstop has nowhere to go when it's not in use, or if there is a spot, I didn't find it. The table can tilt so you can sand at an angle if you need to. It has preset notches at some of the more commonly used angles like 15 degrees, 22.5, 30, and 45 degrees. The table also has a miter slot, though no miter gauge is included, but at least it's there if you need it. On the back, there's a 2-inch port for dust collection. This is the area where this machine struggles a bit. These are the dust intakes, and there are some more inside this opening as well, but they're not enough to keep up with the sawdust this machine can make. I may have to rig up some other form of dust collection for this, something that'll hold the hose closer to the spot where all the dust is made. Setting up the spindles is really simple. Just put the paper on the spindle and the spacer ring, put the spindle on the motor shaft, add the correct size washer, then tighten down the spindle knob. This, by the way, is reverse threaded, so you have to lefty tighty, righty loosey. Each spindle uses a specific washer, and there's a table for that in the manual. To change the spindle to the belt is pretty simple as well. Reverse the steps to remove the spindle, then put the belt in place. This bit here has to go into this notch, and you have to manually move the belt a little bit so the gears underneath line up. Once it's in all the way, you can add that backward turning knob to hold it all down. This knob over here is for tracking adjustment for the belt, and this lever here is to change the belt. The machine's really easy to use, and swapping components is quick and simple. The paper supplied is all 60 grit, but if you want something finer, it's available for the spindles and the belt. Home Depot usually has them, and I've seen them on Amazon as well. The machine has a safety on the power switch. If you remove the yellow portion, no one will be able to accidentally turn it on. This is really handy if you happen to have children around the shop. If the safety is in place, you can just lift the switch to turn it on, and it's easy to turn off in a hurry if you need to. When using the belt sander, there's a removable backstop that you can use to keep your workpiece from being pulled out of your hands. If you're rounding an edge, then you don't want this in place. When you remove it, be careful not to let a fully flat surface touch the belt all at once, or it can pull it from your fingers. When you're done sanding, you're left with all this sawdust in the paper. It does decrease the efficiency of the paper a bit, so you can get one of these rubber erasers. These do a great job of removing all that leftover sawdust. So, what do I think of it now that I've had a chance to use it for a bit? I'm very happy with the purchase. This combination spindle and belt sander is a great idea. There are a few other brands that make a machine like this one. I bet this one and some of the others are made in the same factory. I won't say that Ridgid is the best one, but it surely is the most readily available. You can get it in almost any Home Depot, and Ridgid boasts a lifetime warranty. I hope never to use that, but it's good to know that it's there if I need it. This machine is now something that ends up getting used on almost every project, and I wouldn't want to be without one. The Ridgid works great so far, and I would highly recommend it. The only issues were the dust collection and the lack of a spot to put the backstop. I think most of the other brands that make similar sanders have the same dust collection issue. So for the lifetime warranty, I would stick with Ridgid. Click here to see this sander in use on some of the latest tool holders for the French cleat wall.